Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to Math Today. Today, we're going to do one of my most favorite things that we do in second grade math, and they're called fact families, right? You might have seen these kind of triangle cards before, and you can see the relationship between the bottom numbers and the top number. Okay, these are blue and this is purple. I don't know if you can see that on your screen. But if you notice, here we have the addends and here we have the sum. 7 plus 3 is 10. Now, knowing the commutative property of addition or turnaround facts, we also know that 3 plus 7 is also 10. In fact, we can write 4 math facts based on these 3 numbers, 2 addition and 2 subtraction. So let's try it together. Okay. You can just get out a regular piece of paper. If you have a whiteboard, you can get that out to use. But I'm going to use my markers. I'll use blue and purple so that my numbers kind of match here. So first, I'm going to write the addition number sentence that goes with this card, and that's going to be 7 plus 3 equals 10. And I'm going to put 10 in my purple because that is the sum. Okay. Now for my second addition number sentence, I'm writing the turnaround fact of this. So remember, all I do is these guys, these addends, switch places. So I have 3 plus 7 equals 10 again. Okay. Notice that my sum is the largest of these 3 numbers. Because in addition, we are joining it together. We're putting things together. So that makes sense that our sum is going to be the largest. Now, I need to write 2 subtraction facts. Now, whenever I write a subtraction fact, my sum here automatically becomes my minuend. Okay, so this 10, this sum comes down and is my minuend for both of my facts. So first off, I'm going to have 10, okay, subtract what? And you can put 7 here or 3 here, equals, okay, 10 subtract 3 is 7. All right, here is my minuend in subtraction. Here is my subtrahend. Here is my difference. Now to find the fourth fact in this family, these guys are going to do a switcheroo across the equal sign. So my subtrahend and my difference are going to trade places. My minuend, my first number, always has to be the 10. So that's one thing to check with fact families. Make sure that these 2 numbers are the same and these 2 numbers are always the same. So again, my minuend is that 10. And I put minus 7 equals 3. And there are the 4 facts in my family. Let's try another one. Let's try this one. Let's try 8 and 6 and 2. I'm going to erase this. I'm going to give you a second. I want you to hit pause, and I want you to write it and then come back on and we'll go over it together. So hit pause, write the 4 facts that go with this card, the fact family, and come back. Okay, welcome back. Let's check and see how you did. Now remember, first I write my addition facts, and I'm going to write 6 plus 2 is 8. That top number is my sum. So I'm going to write 6 plus 2 equals 8. Then, if you remember, next I write the turnaround fact and my add-ins switch places. So now I write 2 plus 6 equals 8. Okay, now it's time for my 2 subtraction facts. Now remember, my sum has to become my minuend. It has to go up front. The largest of these 3 numbers has to go up front. So I'm going to put my 8 here. And now I'm going to write my subtraction fact. I'm going to write 8 subtract 2 equals 6. And then to write my last fact, these guys are going to trade places. My subtrahend and my difference. They switcheroo across the equal sign. I have to always start with that 8. And I'm going to write 8 subtract 6 equals 2. How did you do? All right. Go ahead and check yourself. All right, here's one we're going to look at. This is a doubles, okay? Now let's write our first fact. We've got 8 plus 8 is 16. Then I write the turnaround fact. So my add-ins trade places, but oh my goodness, it's going to be the exact same thing. So you don't need to write it again. Okay. Let's write the related subtraction fact. Remember, my 16 has to become my minuend in subtraction. I'm going to write 16 subtract 8 is equal to 8. And remember, these guys needed to switch. And we're going to end up with the same thing. So when you have a doubles fact, when you have both add-ins down here are the same, you only have 2 facts in that family. Okay, I got out another card. All right, let's try this one. So down here we have our add-ins and we have our sum. We're going to try a fact family with a 0 in it. So let's write our first fact. Say it with me. It's going to be 11 plus 0 is 11. Let's write it. 11 plus 0 equals 11. Okay. Now I'm just going to write the turnaround fact where these 2 add-ins switch places. So I'm going to write 0 plus 11 equals, you've got it, 11. Now it's time to write my subtraction fact. Now remember, the sum in addition has to become the minuend in subtraction. So both of these facts have to start with an 11. Okay. And I'm going to say first, 11 subtract 0 is 11. Does that work? Yes. 11 subtract 0 equals 11. And then remember our last fact. We have to do a switcheroo across the equal sign. So we have 11 subtract 11 equals 0. For some reason, this kind of trips people up sometimes, okay? And they want to put a 0 here. And you can't do that because then you'd end up with 0 minus 11. And that's getting into negative numbers, which we're not even talking about. So make sure, don't let that trip you up. It can be looks a little funny sometimes when we have a 0. But always check it and say, okay, does that work? 11 subtract 11 is 0? Yeah. And are those the 3 numbers on my card? Yeah. So you are good to go. Okay. Finally, as we're finishing up, I put a copy of this in Google Classroom. So you're going to need to print this out, and you're just going to need one of the houses for now. Just keep the rest of the houses in your folder. We can use them later. Okay. So cut out one house, and we're going to write the fact family for this card right here. Okay. So first off, in my roof, I'm just going to copy the card down. All right. You'll also need to get out a blue and a purple crayon. So I'm going to copy down the card. I have 13, 7, and 6. I'm going to trace around that circle on the top. That is my sum. That is also my minuend in subtraction. Okay. And then here are my addends in addition, the 7 and the 6, or it is my subtrahend and my difference in subtraction. All right. Now we're going to write the first fact in this family, and we're going to write 7 plus 6 is 13. Go ahead and write that down. Then go ahead and add your color. Your addends are blue. Your sum is purple. If I'm moving too fast, hit pause because we're running out of time on the video. Next, my addends need to swap places. I have the turnaround fact. So I'm going to write 6 plus 7 equals 13. Then go ahead and add your color. My sum is still purple. Now I write my subtraction facts, and I'm going to write 13 subtract 6 is 7. Okay. Again, my minuend is purple. My subtrahend and difference are blue. And my last fact is 13 subtract 7 equals 6. Okay. Go ahead and add the color on those. Remember, your minuend is purple. Okay. We are going to be using this little house on the next page in our math journal. So do not lose this. Keep track of it. Okay. I hope you had as much fun with fact families as I did. They're really fun, and I will see you soon.